Hello.
What's up?
Oh, Champions League is finally back, and we won the first game. Good game overall. What are your thoughts on it? Because I was looking at the game and I was thinking to myself, like the first half, we really got away with it, and then second half kicks off and they score immediately, and I'm like, oh no, here we go, But we just. I was going to say, well, we had the perfect game plan, perfect match plan to like see it out, perfect game management, and well, to put it lightly, they score, and then we score, and then they score, and then we score, and I'm just like, okay, forget all that. How am I gonna like title this? I don't know how to title this because I was gonna say just perfect game plan, but now I'm like, it wasn't. So, what are your thoughts, Daniel? Just overall.
It was a game of basketball, really, back and forth, back and forth. I mean, the first 20 minutes were piss poor, terrible game plan to start off the game. And then Sane does his like little thing with Kane. I mean, Sane is having the season of his life so far. So I thought he had a really good game. I thought Musiala had a really good game. He looked like Zidane out there. Tell Wonder Boy got his goal in the Champions League. Kane debut goal. I really think that like. Well, every goal we concede is fucking stupid. It's a shit goal every single fucking time. None of their goals were good. Højlund's was some fucking crap that shouldn't have got in. Casemiro's goals were fucking crap that shouldn't have got in. I think Goretzka really fucks this team up, and so does Gnabry, but not as much Gnabry, mostly Goretzka. That guy is allergic to the fucking ball. He does not show up in the build-up. He can't fucking defend. He's the German McTominay. Like... Also, I'm really tired of Upamecano because this guy looks fucking shaky. The first Casemiro goal, oh my god. Like, you have to clear that. Kim, I thought was pretty good. I don't know. It's a weird game because I thought a lot of players had good games. I thought Sané was good. Kane was not that good. Musiala was really good. Kimmich, I thought had a good game. Davies, I thought actually had a good game. Kim had a good game. Lima had a good game. But we just fell short. So, not fell short. We won, but like I expected better. Also to Ten Hag, go fuck yourself, you bald fuck. Don't talk shit about my fucking players, you piece of fucking shit. Your whole team can't fucking defend. Eat fucking shit, you bitch. You're gonna get fired within 6 fucking months. Suck my cock, bastard. Okay. And then
Okay. Jeez.
Bayern fans are the only ones who can talk shit about our players like that publicly. Ten Hag, you motherfucker, don't ever talk shit about Bayern players. So,
well, this video isn't going to get monetized.
Oh shit, my bad.
Not my
Yeah, but I don't know, it was a weird game. I thought in moments we looked good, but I don't know, it's a weird game. I really don't know how to describe it.
Samasi tells us welcome. I like that the first one you guys had to was a run by Daniel.
A disgrace, that's what we are. We spent how many millions on defense and we concede like that against a crappy Man United who are in an injury crisis, who also have no midfield. We played arrogant, we played lazy. There was not a real plan how to attack. Our midfield was non-existent. We have been dominated by in our home turf. This is shameless. It should have quite easily. It should have been a draw. We didn't play good at all. I'm one bad performance away from Tuchel out. I'm one bad performance, and I'm Tuchel out then because I can't see that anymore.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting first takes. I think the next one that joined was Talasif. Also, welcome Nagels and Core. Talasif, what are your thoughts? I think you're at the stadium, aren't you, currently?
Yeah. So can you hear me? Because I'm on my way to the station. It should be quite loud.
I'll just up your microphone volume a little bit because you're a little bit quiet.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, obviously I wanted to be the most negative person here, but I think Daniel and Tamasi already took that role. So yeah, it was frustrating. It's weird because we won 4-2 because it's just weird because the opposition just wasn't as good. So I expected more.
We
And
won
normally
for
it's a tale
free.
of two halves,
We won for free.
but this time around it was sorry, it was 4-3, yeah. But this time it was like a tale of four quarters. Like first quarter, like first 25, 20 minutes, like absolutely catastrophically bad. Then decent, then very, very good, and then overconfident and cocky. And that almost cost us the game. And as I said in the chat, a step into the right direction, but we still have a lot of things to work on.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
And
I
by
think
the way,
Cole.
the subs didn't make sense at all. Didn't make sense at all. Why take
I
off
was
Musiala? Why didn't
nah.
sub Antel? Why
Musiala going off.
Miller?
That's fine.
Why
Completely fine.
Everton
But
and
what I didn't
Muller?
like was how long it took for the subs to come. I think it should have been in the 60th minute, not the 85th. That was my one issue. However, Core,
Exactly, I agree.
what did you think about the game?
Yeah. Bro, please sack Tuchel and get Flick, man. I can't do it.
Tuchel. Didn't you
Yeah.
say sack Nagelsmann?
No, sack Tuchel. I'm so tired, man. I'm just so tired. It's ridiculous, man. Every
Call
season,
your fucking clown.
every season. No. Listen, every season we concede lousy goals. Every season. I don't know what's wrong. Sorry to say this. I know United like came back 3-3, but I told you this alright guy is a fraud. This alright guy, he's such a fraud. I mean, my goodness. One shot came. One of the goals was straight at him. One of the goals was literally straight at him, like aerial ability wise. Like
Neuer needs to
he's
come
just
back ASAP.
yeah. Like I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, but this guy, man, this guy is a fraud, man. People say, oh, he's putting up a good shift. He's doing a decent performance. This is a horrible performance by Ulreich, man. I'm sorry, man. Like as good as even look at what's this guy's name? Kim Min Jae. I think Kim Min Jae was really saving our asses today, bro. Because if you looked at it, like United had some chances. United had some really good chances. And I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with the club because I think we need
I'm
to.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Samasi. What were you saying?
Leroy Sané got man of the match instead of Musiala. This is also a disgrace.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
no,
saying.
that's correct because he was much better.
That's that's exactly what I'm saying. Like
Guys,
these guys are still
I'm
bums.
sorry. Sané's decision making
These
Sane,
guys
no.
are
sorry,
still
sorry,
He
Sane
bums.
was
should
much
have
These
better
so
than Musiala.
many chances
No,
to
Sonny had a
score.
good game.
No, he
Sonny
had
had a
so
good game.
many chances to
no.
Kane was
score.
Listen,
decent.
listen,
Kane was
listen,
decent.
listen, guys. These guys, I'm telling you right now, man, do not fall for it. They might look so good right now, but when it comes to the middle end to the season, when we play like let's say the Pokal round of 16 or quarterfinals, you start seeing the true colors of these players. Because I am telling you, man, I don't, I can count the number of times where Sane had bad decision making, you know, was so arrogant. Sometimes, bro, Kane made a really good run. Listen to this, guys. Kane made a really good one where Sane could have just whipped in the cross. Sane could have just whipped in the cross and just given the ball to Harry Kane because he was so open and he waited so much. He held on to the ball. He let the defenders cluster on Harry Kane, and Harry Kane had no space, and that was a wasted opportunity there. Guys, I'm telling you, man. I think I don't know, man. I don't know. I really, really don't know. But I think Flick is gonna have to do something about I think Flick has to come to this team because Tuchel, it's not working, man. It's not.
No,
And what happened to Delict playing number 6?
no,
I
wait.
wanted to
Before
see that. I
now,
wanted to see Delict play number 6.
let's go into the details later. I just wanted to say something. If this
Hmm.
game would have ended 4-2, right after Tell's goal, I would be like, okay, two unlucky goals. But that 4-3, I was so mad because what is Tuchel's mission? Like, what does he want to accomplish with the squad? I thought we wanted to be better defensively, right? What we conceded 3 goals against them. I don't even know whether they scored 3 goals yet in the Premier League. I'm not even joking. That was so bad. Like Manchester United, I've seen their game against Brighton because I was wondering how good they are. They are, well, nah. They look like today. They look like a serious opponent, which they aren't. If it wasn't for Onana, this guy was so bad. By the way, I don't know how this game would have ended. I'm not even joking. And this was as Samar said, it was at our place. It was as Allianz Arena. In a group stage game, we never lose group stage games. I mean, we didn't lose this one, but like, you know what I mean, right? I was so mad. That's why I was like, I said Tuchel out and stuff. I don't know whether I'm Tuchel out, but I was so mad after this game. I can't describe.
The thing is, for me, the game feels like a
I,
loss.
I wouldn't even agree that they look good today. I wouldn't even agree that United look good today.
And you
I
have
just
to
thought we
understand
look
how.
very terrible in faces. Like, Munich,
It's a little difficult to hear. I think there's a little bit of background feedback. Also, just hi to everyone in chat. Coach's Corner, hello. Man of Parak, hello. Javinson, Clerville, hello. Obviously, the previous ones, that were here prior to the ones that just joined, all of you, welcome. Look, there's a reason I let all of you go first when it came to your takes, and the reason is actually very simple. I was hoping that someone would bring up one of the aspects of the game that I thought needs to be brought up, and that is Lima. I thought it was very, very interesting that he started today. And I'll be totally honest, to me, this game was a loss. To me, this game was a loss. To me, I said this before the game, if we didn't win by at least 5 goals, then this game is a loss. And it
I was agreeing that I said 3 goals. 3 goals I would be content with. If we win this 3-0, I would be totally fine. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Overall, though, we're just giving our preliminary thoughts before we obviously go into more details and also answer some questions from chat. Overall, my first thoughts were it felt like a loss, but also 3 points are 3 points. I'm not going to complain. Also, can I just say, us scoring after they scored each and every single time was a good thing, in my opinion. And the reason that was a good thing, obviously it's a good thing because you win the game and so on and so forth, but the reason why it was a good thing, because to me, it meant that we've got another gear to go up to. And so, like, we didn't play our best, but I felt like when we had to, then we actually turned it up, and that by itself, I think, is very valuable. Just for the future of the next couple of weeks and season, the rest of the season essentially. So that's what I just wanted to say. Also, Jovinson Clevel, just because I see your comment right now, can I join? Yes, you can. Just send me a DM on Twitter and I'll send you a link to join. And we'll get through some of your questions in a second. But some of you guys talked about Musiala obviously already and Sane. There are 3 names that are being brought up right now in chat, as far as I can see. Previously, it was Lima by both René David and Robert Becker, and I think I saw someone else bring up Lima. Then it's Musiala, obviously, is in contention for maybe player of the game. And then the other one is Ulreich, and obviously Cole brought up Ulreich as well. I've got thoughts on Ulreich too, so we'll address those players obviously in a second. I just want to start with this one though. Which player, who would you say was your man of the match in this game? I guess we'll
Can
start
I go
with that.
first? Can I go first?
Go for it.
Can I go first? Okay.
Yep.
For me, you want to know who the real man of the match was? You want to know who the real man of the match was? For me
You're
personally,
you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
say something like Goretzka.
no, it's not. It's not him. The real man of the match for me personally was Gnabry. That was the real man of the match, yo.
No,
What the fuck?
He
What?
had he had an
yes,
amazing
no,
game.
No,
He
what?
had an
no.
What game
amazing
did you
game.
watch?
What what else what else did you want him to do? Tell me.
He
Like
doesn't
really,
play.
what else do you want him?
Listen, he doesn't play good in the build-up. He gets the goals. That's fine. Like took his goal well, but he's invisible in the fucking build-up. We went down everything on the right, attacking on the right. When Davies gets the ball and gives it to Gnabry, the attack just ends. He doesn't take the guy on. Doesn't look to play forward. He only goes forward without the ball.
All right. Well, I'm going for Gnabry. I think Gnabry had a good one. Actually, no. You know what? I think Limer. I think Limer had a good game, not Gnabry. I think man of the match for me is Limer. I'll pick Limer over Gnabry. Yeah.
Who wants to go next?
I think my man of the match will be Sane. I thought he had a good game. I thought he was always looking to get the goal. He got unlucky with the shot off the post. It's between him and Musiala. I think Sane just edges it because he broke the deadlock. You can say it was a lucky goal, but he took a chance well, I think, and I think he helped a lot in the build up, like Musiala. But the reason I give it to Sane is I think he was more noticeable than Musiala at times throughout the match.
Okay, fair enough. Samasi, what do you think? I don't think he's currently here, so I'll go to Tausif. Tausif, who was your man of the match?
For me personally, it was Sane. Just because he was more active, or the most active player. I mean, yeah, he did he made a few mistakes, but they were small ones. And overall, yeah, most active player, by far the best. And then number 2 is Musiala.
Okay, fair enough. Samasi, I don't know if you're here, but if you're here, who was your man of the match? I don't think he's here. All right. Look, the reason I wanted to start with man of the match is because obviously a lot of people say Sane. A lot of people say Musiala. I find very interesting that Coach's Corner says I don't rate Musiala, but that might just be me, which it's not just you. Don't trust me. I do rate Musiala. I just want him to be consistent, and I'm not going to hype him up when he's not consistent just because he does a few step overs and dribbles. I want productivity, and today I got that. So today I'm very happy with his performance. He just oftentimes just kind of like over dribbles too much and then has no productivity, and that's just been a thing since after the World Cup. So I don't know whether that's a prolonged thing or whether that's just his form dipping, and hopefully it's coming back now. What I will say is this specifically. This one is funny. Is no one picking Kane for man of the match because they want to be a contrarian and everyone's trying to be different? No, Kane wouldn't even. The thing with Kane is he does so much good work, like dropping deep, but then also we need someone up top. He's not there because he drops deep, and that's actually the reason why I wasn't 100% on board with getting him. Not because he lacks the quality, but more so because I just feel like he drops deep too often for our style of play. And since we typically have a lot of possession, I want my striker to be in the box. But that's a different argument. But I felt that was very prominent today, where he dropped deep a lot, but then ultimately when he was like in the box, he was just not in the right positions, and that's why he didn't get a goal from open play. Look, I think my man of the match, I'm going to give a controversial one. I think Davis. And it goes back to what you said, Daniel. It goes back to what you said. I don't care about the game. But Ten Hag, you fraud. The second you talk bad about Davis, it's over. It's over for you. I'm going to, me, the person that has been criticizing Davis for like 2 years now, I'm going to be in his corner defending him. So my man of the match was Davis. Easily. He saved us in the first 10 minutes or so of the game
Mhm.
when he, blocked the it wasn't a goal line clearance, but it was a last ditch tackle. So you know what? Just for that, my man of the match, easy, no contest, no debate. But my real man of the match would be Davis. No, would be Musiala. I was very happy with Musiala today, honestly. I just think, actually, you know what? My man of the match was Leroy Sané. The reason why Leroy Sané is my man of the match is because he started good from the first minute and he played good until he got subbed off. Whereas I felt with Musiala, it took a little while for him to really get going. So that's the only reason why I've got Sané ahead of Musiala. That's what I think. Look, we'll flip it on its head. Who was the worst player on the game in the game for us?
Ulrich. Ulrich was the worst player in the whole game because he cannot, for fucking sake, shot stop as a goalkeeper for his fucking life. That's how bad he is.
Jeez. How do you respond to that?
I mean, it could be Ulreich. He would deserve it, but I think it goes to Goretzka just because I think that guy's like a weight bully. The only thing I remember from his whole game was the push on that little midget Argentine player, Lissandro Martin, whatever his name is. So I really don't know what he does because in build-up he doesn't show up anywhere. He doesn't fucking defend. Like I don't understand what he does because that guy holds the team back so much. If you get a midfielder who can play the ball, who's comfortable on the ball, who can do things, who can also defend, will look so much better. This defense lets in so many stupid fucking mistakes because we don't absorb pressure well. If you bring in a midfielder who can absorb pressure and is comfortable on the ball, I think we'll look a lot better. Goretzka was really bad today, so he's my bum of the match.
Everyone's so brutal today. My goodness. Talasif, please don't be as brutal as, well, never mind. He's brutally gone. My goodness. Look, my worst player of the match, I was going to say Goretzka. And my second choice would have been Ulreich. But just because you two brought him up, I'll bring up a different name. Lima. I didn't think Lima was necessarily bad. The thing with Lima today, it wasn't that I felt like he played bad. I felt like he was, how do I describe this? I wasn't in sync with the team. That's sort of my big takeaway. Like, up times when he was on the ball and Sané made a deep run, he tried to play it short. When Sané, wanted to come short, he made a deep pass. When Upamecano gave him the ball, when Upamecano played it deep, he came short. When Upamecano tried to play short, he came deep. I just felt like he was out of sync today. And that's why, like, a lot of the times when the passes went to him or the passes came from him, I thought that the ball went awry. And that's sort of my big takeaway today. It wasn't that he played bad. It just felt like it's not even a bad decision, but it was more. It's more so like the whole team was out of sync with him, which was very weird because you'd figure, well, it's gonna happen once or twice. When it happens like 10 or 15 times in the same game, you're just like, did he not train this week with this squad, or has he not trained in the last couple of weeks? So, like, why is he so out of sync? And that's typically what you expect from, a player that just joined the team, sure, but he's been in every single training, practice session since he joined. Now, should he have started? I hope somebody asks Tuchel that question. Would I have started him? Sure, but I do think it's one of those things where you can be like, well, should he really? I don't know, but maybe he just should. I just think what he offers us compared to like someone like Mazraoui is that we have three midfielders with him when he plays right back, because he basically helps out in midfield as well. So at least we have some, more ball possession in the squad. But today I felt like he was more of a runner than anything. Like I thought, like every time he took the opportunity to run forward. So I know I've said that, like, to me he's not my personal worst player of the match. I think you two have already named the two worst players, but I just thought I'd offer a third player, and I didn't think he was necessarily like awful. I just think he was out of sync with the team. But the energy that he displayed for 90 minutes, I can just say like that was absolutely incredible. So for me, he isn't the worst player of today, but I wanted to highlight him because you two have already mentioned the two worst in my opinion. Also, I just forgot to mention, our man of the match was obviously Onana. That first goal, like we were under so much pressure. They were outplaying us. And then he gives us something like that. I'm just like, yeah, bro, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, what's concerning is today we conceded 3. Leverkusen we conceded 2. Gladbach we conceded 1. Augsburg we conceded 1. Werder Bremen clean sheet. Leipzig we conceded 3. We don't keep clean sheets, and this manager keeps on insisting on playing Upamecano because
What I
he
will
wants
say,
to play
guys,
out the fucking back. The first job of a defender is to fucking defend. We've kept 1 clean sheet against the shittiest team we've played so far, probably. Why the fuck is De Ligt not getting games? Our defense is like right now is a joke, partly because of the midfield, but I'm really, really tired of the amount of goals we concede. No fucking clean sheets. We haven't kept clean sheets in 3 years. So this weekend has to be De Ligt and Kim, because Kim has been really good. You can't take him out. Upamecano looks shaky at a lot of times. Like, he does some good things, don't get me wrong. He'll do some good passes here and there, but a center back's job is to defend. We need a better midfielder and to start De Ligt. Those 2 changes will look a lot better. Trust me on that.
no. With the Limer thing that you guys are talking about, I do understand where Prince you're coming from. Limer is that type of player where he's high energy type Jurgen Klopp player. You get what I'm trying to say? He's more of a Jurgen Klopp player. Um, and one thing I like about him is he might not look pleasing in the eye, but I feel like it's something that Bayern needs.
Okay.
Yes, I'm coming. I'm coming. Give me a second. Give me a second, please. Yeah. So the one thing is Lima, right? He gives the energy that we need in the team because last season, let me tell you, at the end of the season, Sane was not tracking back against Freiburg. Against City, he was not tracking back. These players, they don't track back. Mazurari and these guys, they don't have that high energy like how Limer is willing to go up and down and so forth. So for me, I know you say, oh, he was running around and so forth, but the thing about Limer is he's a very, very good fullback for me personally, and he gives much better crosses than the likes of Mazurari does. And I just feel that when it comes to cover shadowing, he's pretty good at it. He's not that bad as a cover shadowing like player, you know. Um, Delict, I do agree. I really don't understand why Delict was not playing number 6. I even think they should have started Delict as a number 6 in the game because I think would have won by maybe 5 goals if Delict was starting as a number 6. Because most of the problem, guys, and I agree with Tuko now. I kind of agree with him. Prince and Daniel. The problem is the midfield. We are getting attacking overloads in the midfield. There's a lot of midfield overloads, and it's just crazy. We don't have a holding midfielder to control the midfield, to hold it down. You know, and now I'm kind of starting to understand what Tuko is saying by Kimmich is not that type of player. Goretzka is not that type of player. You understand? So when I look at Pauline, and also when I look at Paulinia's highlight in Fulham, he's that type of defensive mid who he sticks to his position. He's not like Lima where he goes running around all over the place and so like pressing players and so forth. No. But what he does is he gives the freedom for someone like a Kimmich or someone like a Goretzka to, push forward and to express themselves. You see, that's why I think Tuchel was trying to get Paulinia. You see, um, But again, like I said, if you did want a number six, and you know you've been playing Delict as a number six and it's been working, then try it out. You understand? Try it out. It's not gonna hurt if you play Delict as a number six. Even if you against Butchum, I like for him to start Delict as a number six, you know? And yeah, I just feel like I don't blame Limer for today's game. The person I solely blame for is Ulreich and Tuchel not playing Delict as a number six in the second half. Because I'm sure if Delict played as a number six, like if he brought him in like let's say the 50th minute, that game would have ended like 4-1. I think that game would have ended 4-1 or 4-2 to be honest. You know, but I don't know what his problem is with Delict. And a lot of these players, I'm gonna tell you guys, a lot of these players are still Nagelsmann players. Like Limer, he's a Nagelsmann player. This what's this guy's name? Mazrari, Nagelsmann player. You see, like Delict, he's a Nagelsmann player. It's I'm sorry, man. Like Nagelsmann's players are still in the squad. We need to. Would you rather have Limer or Mazrari? I think I'd rather have Limer. I think Limer is a much better option. He might not be pleasing the eyes, but defensively, I take Lima over Maserati, to be honest. And I like what Daniel you said because I think that's been the problem with Bayern because we don't have a midfield. Tuchel has to play Lima as a right back so that he adds on to the midfield to make it a three-man midfield. You know, so that we don't get bombed over every single time in the counterattack. It didn't work today because again he played to basically he played a number 8 and then he played another number 8 which is Goretzka. So I just don't I don't understand why he didn't bring Delict in. That's what I would say.
One thing that I do want to highlight today is I think it was Towsif that said that before he left. He basically said that this game was almost like I think you mentioned actually, Daniel, that this game was like a basketball game, and I think Towsif mentioned that like it was a game of like 4 different quarters. The first quarter we basically got destroyed, we got outplayed. Second quarter we looked dangerous. Third quarter, was probably the best stretch that we've had all season, I think. And then fourth quarter, they really come back. And I saw that third quarter and I thought to myself, if only we can play like this all game. Like if we
All
could
game. Yeah.
control the ball and
Yeah.
constantly create chances, but not overdo it, but just create chances, and have control the ball. Don't allow the other team to score. Look like you have 10 times the energy of the other team. Win every second ball. If we could play like that, just the insane press when we don't have the ball, but like that calm and stability when we do have the ball. If we could play like that week in, week out, we would look perfect. Now, obviously, that's the goal. And I think what we're going to see a little bit, I may be wrong here, but I think ultimately what's going to happen is when Guerrero is fully healthy, Guerrero will take Davis's place. Because
Yes.
then you have Guerrero, who is someone that can play in midfield, play as a left
Yes.
back, and then you have
Yes.
Lime, who plays who can play in midfield, play as a right back, and then you might not need a
Yes.
6 because you've got more defensively minded players in the squad.
Yes.
So your
Yes.
attack is
Yes.
able to just focus on the attack, whereas you've got your midfield and your defense that is able to shield your whole area of pitch or your whole defensive side of the field. So that's what I think might be what we can see in the long term. Sorry, in the short term. Obviously, in the long term, I do think that Tuchel might, he really wants to get a number 6 so that he can be more offensive through the wings. So that's what I think is the long-term vision. But I think the short-term vision might just be to play Guerrero and Lima on each fullback position, and just
Yeah.
like compensate for our weakness that way.
Mhm.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
we also need to get proper wingers, Prince, because these wingers, man, I am so sorry, man. Like when it comes to, like for example, I'm seeing times where Harry Kane is open. They don't give him any service. Like it's really bad. Like all these wingers, they want to go score by themselves, be arrogant. It's really, really. Aside from Matthias Tell, who else is really gonna give Harry Kane service? You know, or maybe Coman.
Mhm.
No one. Like I just we need to get some new wingers too, man. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, I think the player with the most assists to Kane this season is Davies. So we're not providing anything for Kane in the final third for the most part, which is unfortunate. But I think that's also because what Prince said, he drops pretty deep, so that, and he doesn't have the recovery pace to just push up. So that's another thing we have to like work out the timings around his runs and the runs the wingers make. But I think what's unfortunate is that because we've fucked up in the summer in terms of getting Polahina last minute, we're going to be inconsistent as all hell until December. And when December comes, and if we do get a six, which I think we will, because Tuchel wants one, Christoph Freund said he sees a six as a priority as well, allegedly, according to the newspapers. So, and even if we do get a six, it's going to take time for someone like Paulina to bed in. So I don't know.
Exactly.
It's unfortunate we've like fucked up our season by getting a six so last minute. But I also think that Tuchel makes some bizarre decisions as well in terms of not playing De Ligt, like Core said. It's going to be interesting to see if he treats Guerrero well or not, because I think he's going to be important for us in midfield and left back. I don't know why Tell got subbed on way later than Choupo-Moting, to be honest. I think Moting didn't even have a bad game. It's just odd to see someone who hasn't played it at all come in a big game like that. Gnabry getting to start when Tell's gotten so many goals. I really think by the end of the season, Tell's going to be our starting left winger.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree. I agree, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is the thing, man. Sancho is there, man. Sancho is in the market. Like, it's not too late. We need something like an Anthony or a Sancho. You know, those type of wingers. th- we need something, man. Something. I don't know, man. Sorry, man.
The solution
I
is
don't know.
staring in your face. The solution is staring all of us in the face, but none of us like to accept it. I
What
thought with David.
solution?
Hmm?
Oh yeah, David. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like again, that's what I'm saying. Against Bochum, this is your chance to experiment with that thing. Like you could put Davis as a winger, and let's see how he plays. You see, let's see how he plays. Let's see how Delic plays as a number six against Bochum. Let's see how so and so plays against. We put in, let's say, for example, another player. I mean, come on. Like you have to be creative. That's what Drenson said. You have to be creative now, Tuchel. You have to be creative. You can't be going with the same squad the whole time. This is what makes oppositions, when you're playing against oppositions, it gives them confidence. You see, let's play Musiala as a winger. I've been calling for this for ages, ever since Nagelsmann was a coach. Why not Musiala play as a winger?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like these things, it needs to start happening. Why don't we bench Kimmich for at least 1 or 2 games? It changes. It gives the team a whole new perspective. A whole new energy. Once you do stuff like that, then you start seeing stuff like this. Daniel Peretz. Let's see how Peretz bowls against a team like Bochum.
I'd like to see that, to be honest, too, because
Yeah,
was terrible. Play that kid. Let's see what
yeah.
he's up to.
Yeah, but I know Tuchel will go with the tried and trusted
Mhm,
because he cares more about winning. But
mhm.
yeah, man, I'm starting to agree with Hokage because Hokage told me something back. He was like, you want Tuchel, but you have to know Tuchel is not someone he'll play young players or he'll play like players who Tuchel's not gonna give these young players and stuff a chance and so forth. And I'm starting to think that we have some young players in the bench, like that Japanese player.
Fukui.
Who else? Matthias Tell. We have who else do we have?
Pavlovic is there too.
Pavlovic, really, really good defensive man. I was watching him in the preseason. I thought he was amazing. I'm still shocked why he hasn't gotten a game or even some minutes. Who else? Kratazig, very good fullback, very, very good fullback. I'm still shocked he hasn't even gotten any minutes either. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore because you know I thought it was a Nagelsmann problem, but Prince, guys, I'm looking at it. Oh, what's up, Adam? Oh, Adam is my devout in my channel, Prince. He's my devout YouTube subscriber. Like he watches all my content, everything. But yeah, like I think it's more than Nagelsmann. I think we need to really bring back our fear factor. The fear factor is missing. The ruthlessness is missing. Yeah.
So, just a few things. I'm always a fan of a lot of changes. As Tupac once said, I see no changes, and I wake up in the morning trying to ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself? Not quite that, but like I see no changes sometimes in the squad. And today, my big issue was I know Tuchel was on the stands. He wasn't necessarily on in the dugout. But my issue is I wanted to see substitutions earlier. And it's good that Tell, he comes in basically every game now and he basically scores or assists. He's basically productive every single game. And I don't want to just measure a player's, performances by their productivity, by their goals and assists, but actually like by their productivity on the pitch as well. So like, what are you doing on the pitch besides your goal and assist? And I think overall, Tell is like very good, just in general. When he comes on, I think it's time for him to start a game. I really do. I think I get why you can't take out Kane, because the issue is if you take out like right now, I mean, none of us voted Kane as our man of the match, but right now Kane, he's good, but he's not as good as he knows that he can be, and as good as that we know that he can be. So you kind of want to play Kane so he gets more, because right now what he lacks really is just the closeness with the team. He isn't integrated that well with the whole squad, and that's mainly because the transfer was only done recently, so he hasn't really had enough time to play and train with the squad. So you can't really take Kane out because he needs to play, but I do want to see Musiala start. So start him on the wing. That's what I want to see. Because I think he should, Tuchel sort of mentioned that, in the press conference, I think yesterday, saying that Tell, he's not just going to come off the bench, he is going to start games as well. And I think, with his performances, you really should reward him right now. And I also want to see some changes, De Ligt coming on for Meccano. Now, I'm just looking ahead right now, for the next for the weekend, basically. I would like to see Tell start over someone like Gnabry. My issue is that if I take Sane off, and play Coman instead of Sane is in a good form right now, and I don't want to take him off and then he can't get back into that form. So I wouldn't touch Sane at all right now. I wouldn't sub him off. I just he's a constant. He plays every single game until he loses that form, and then we can talk about subbing him off. But right now, I'm just extremely delicate with him because we've seen it so many times where he performs well, and then he just completely forgets how to play football for a few months afterwards. So right now, that he's in that I'm performing well phase, I'm not doing anything, straight up. I think I'd play Mazraoui on the weekend, and I don't know how my midfield looks, but it's a long season and we have a very thin squad. So in my opinion, rotation is key. And I don't think we've done it well this season. So I want to see some more rotation.
Yeah,
What about you,
I'd agree with that. I'd like to see, to be honest, Goretzka can hold the fucking bench on the weekend. Guerrero's back in the team. I really want to see him in midfield. So I'd put him in midfield for that game. And then, of course, like we're getting to the point we're going to play mid-game weeks every week pretty much. So it's like you said, our squad's thin. So I think you're going to have to start using Pavlovic or Kratzig and these guys to close off games or be more creative. Leimer looked kind of gassed throughout the game at points. As much as I wanted to start at right back, I think it's going to be Mazraoui just to preserve him as much as we can because we have to preserve our players a lot. We can't risk injuries with this like thin team. But I'd agree with Sané because like he's too. This is probably the best we've seen him in Bayern. So to just put him out of the team is probably not the best idea. If his head goes down, God knows what's going to happen to him. I think Tell has to start too on the weekend. He's shown more than enough. Kane needs to start just because, like you said, like he hasn't had a preseason. He needs to get time with the team. Those are like the changes I would look forward to seeing, especially Guerrero in midfield, just to see how that experiment plays out. Because I think he's going to be really, really important this season.
It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. I mean, for me personally, for the Bochum game, I want Peretz, Tariq Buchman.
He's injured.
Oh, he's injured. Oh, wow, I thought he was. Okay.
The lift.
Well,
There's the lift over Upamecano.
I mean, all right. Well, I hate Delict as a center back, but okay, Delict, Kim Min-jae, Mazrari, Guerrero, Limer as a DM, and Goretzka. I'll be honest with you. I know you guys are really throwing shade at Goretzka, but I don't think Goretzka has been that bad from the previous 2 or 3 games. Like I think he's decent. You said what?
I haven't actually said anything about Goretzka today.
Yeah, I think he's been decent. I think he's been decent for now. For now, I'm not saying like just for now, he's been decent. But later on things could change. This is my problem with these players, Gnabry, Sane, and Goretzka. They can sell us a false image. They can really sell us a false image. Like right now, we're seeing right now that they're doing well. Later on, let's say getting to like ending middle of the season, when we play in the really, really big games, then you start seeing that they're nowhere to be found. That's just how bad, these players are. But again, they are performing right now, so you give them the credit. And what else would I have to say? Yeah, Musiala's a winger. I mean, Sane has to start because he's in form. I don't like him. I really don't. But hey, it is what it is. Upamecano, Limer as the 2 DMs. That would be nice. I'd like to see that. Harry Kane as a striker, and Thomas Muller as the attacking mid. Not bad. Not bad. I think that's my lineup for Butcher on the weekend.
Okay. Now that we've looked forward to the future, I just want to say one more thing, and then let's do player ratings, and then we'll wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I wanted to say is that obviously I said that I think Kane can be a lot better. I still think that he had a very good game today. I thought Kane had a good game today. I do think that he needs to pick his poison better, when to drop deep, when to stay up top. But again, I think that will just come with time. But I just wanted to not correct myself, but just make it clear that I do still think that Kane had a good game today. But yeah, let's do player ratings. Let's start with Core's favorite, Ulreich.
0 out of 10.
Awful.
Awful. I mean, come on. We all know this, man. Awful performance. One of the goals went straight to his palm. One of the goals, he could have easily stopped one of those goals aerially because again, yes, I know it was coming with full velocity, but again, Casemiro touched that ball. You could have punched it out. Um, yeah, very, very playing out of the back is really poor too. Just really bad. Sorry, man. Or it gets a 0 for me. Sorry.
I think Ulreich made like one save or something, and it was like a piss easy shot too. I agree with Core that third goal. Like, why don't you just come out and punch the ball? Like, I think he wasn't even ready for the cross. That's what I think. I really
Yeah.
don't know. So his concentration's poor. His kicking out the back sometimes is okay. Sometimes it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Peretz has to start on the weekend for me. Ulreich was terrible. I'd give him a 2 just because he showed up and made one save in the match.
Sheesh. I don't even know how to respond. Well, I give Ulreich a 3, 4. I'm gonna be nice. I didn't think he was good, to be fair. What bothered me the most were his passes. More than anything, it was just his passes. I thought in like the first 30 minutes or so when we really struggled, I thought it came a lot because of his passes, just going to the opponents rather than going to the Bayern players. So I give him a 4, but like I'm just doing it because I'm being nice today. I'm in a good mood. So he gets a 4 for me. Look, next up, Davis. I'll start. Davis for me gets a 10. Eric Ten Hag talked trash about him in the pre-match thing. And nobody talks trash about Davis, all right? Nobody talks trash about Alphonso Davis besides Bayern fans. So for me, he gets a 10. It's very easy. He was amazing, majestic. Quite frankly, he was sublime, the best player on the pitch, and there is no discussion about that. Alphonso Davis gets a 10 out of 10 from me. Now, until the weekend when he plays, and he drops another 0 out of 10. But for today, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I thought he had a good game, to be honest. Like, they had really nothing coming down his left-hand side. So I'd give him an 8. I think he had a good game. Maybe going forward, he could have done more, but I think defensively he was pretty sound. They had no luck off his side. Everything they scored really came off the right or through the middle. So, yeah, I think 8 for him is appropriate in my opinion. How about you, Core?
Oh, yes. For Davis, right?
Yeah.
3 out of 10.
So
What's the
Cole
reasoning?
gave him 30 out of 10. Understood.
3 out of 10.
What's the
3
reason?
out of 10.
What's the reasoning?
I said 3 out of 10. The reasoning is, I know Davis is good, but he's still not offering me anything attacking wise. I again, and I can't trust him because he's a YouTuber. That's another thing. And then the other problem with him too is, right, his when it comes to his defending, it can be left very questionable. His defensive awareness is really bad sometimes. It's really, really bad. So I don't know. I really don't know. I think what you guys said earlier, where you said he should be playing as a winger, it makes a lot of sense because I feel like he has a lot of skills in his locker, and I think he would give much more of a better service to Harry Kane than those two clowns who are in the wing area who are so arrogant to pass the ball to Harry Kane. So I'll give him a 3 out of 10. I can't trust this man, bro. I really can't. I really can't. I'm sorry, man. But he did good. It was a decent performance. I'll give it to him. Decent performance. Actually, no, I'll give him 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. I'll give him 6 out of 10. All right. I gave it to him.
There you go. Look, Kim Min Jae, aka TBE. as Floyd Mayweather would say, the best ever.
The monster Kim Min-jae. I'd give him an 8. I think he was the best center back today. I think he shut them down a lot of times. He never got beat, I don't think. His passing was pretty good too. His diagonal passes, really strong on defense. I'm really happy with him. I think he's. You're not going to be happy with this, but pound for pound signing of the season, I'd give him 8 out of 10.
Look, it's an easy 10 out of 10. Easy 10 out of 10.
I'll give him a 7 out of 10. His passing is really bad. I don't know why, but his passing can be a little bit shaky.
No, he's not a good.
wouldn't say
He's a great defender, but he's not a good player. If that makes sense, he's a great
Yeah.
defender, not a good player. Whereas Upamecano is a great player, but
Player,
not a
yeah.
good defender.
Exactly.
So in a way, they do complement each other. But yeah, I mean, Kim, for me personally, he gets like an 8 as well. Look, if my defender defends, then let Kimmich take over the passing, or let Upamecano take over the passing. Just defend. That's all I'm asking for. Now, we conceded 3 goals, so I'm actually thinking of bumping it down to a 7, because ultimately, when you concede 3 goals, there is no argument to be made. You can say, oh, the goalkeeper did this or the goalkeeper did that. We still conceded
that's
3
your fault.
goals.
Yeah.
We still conceded 3 goals. So
But
you know what?
but you know something, right? Let me tell you something, Prince. This Kim Min-jae guy, I saw him get exposed by Ghana in the World Cup, my country. Like, I'm not even joking, bro. So like I'm not shocked. I'm really not shocked like that. He's showing these thinkers, man. You know, it is what it is. I know he has a mistake in him. I told you guys when we signed him, I told you he has a mistake in him. Because if you're allowing someone like, he let this guy Kudu score against him. He let so many other players score against him. Even the game against AC Milan, he was one of the worst players in that game too. You know, Kim and Jay, I don't know, man. He's a bit shaky, man. I know he's a good defender, but let's see, man. Let's see, because when it comes to the big games, like later on this season, that's where I really needed him to show like his quality, you know. But yeah,
Mhm. Well, his partner in crime, Upamecano, what do you lot rate him?
the headless chicken, right? Yeah, I call him the headless chicken. He just runs around. He opens his mouth like he's hungry for something, and that's it. Upamecano for me, you always know me. I just hate that player with the guts, man. I'm telling you this right now. There's nothing he does right that I'll ever appreciate. I'm giving him a 0 out of 10. I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry. He's probably part of the reason why we conceded those 3 goals. He cannot keep a clean sheet for once in his life. His awareness is bad. He's a very mistake prone defender. He's bad as a defender. He can't defend physical players. What can you really do? What can you really do aside from run around like a headless chicken? Sorry, man.
Well, that's a bit brutal. I was just going to give him a 5.
No, Prince, don't do this, man. Don't do this. Don't do this.
Yeah, I mean, I was
I'm
going to give
just-
him a 5 too, because like on that second goal especially, he's next to Casemiro. Casemiro falls down and still manages to get the toe poke when Upamecano is right in front of him. That's crazy to me.
That's
Um,
exactly what I am saying.
Mm.
That's exactly. You see how Casemiro was physical, right?
Yeah,
He can't defend physical players. He
Mhm.
just can't. And
even
so,
Boniface
so
too.
yeah, look at Boniface. The last game, Boniface was schooling this man, bro. He was all over him. Come on, man. We need to sell him too, man. The headless chicken needs to be sold. Him
Yeah,
and Son.
especially on the first goal too.
Mhm.
Upamecano was the one tracking Hoyland. Then the ball goes in the box. Upamecano gives Hoyland the space to take the shot. I think those first two goals are kind of on Upamecano. I'm being honest. I think he gets a 4 or 5.
Yeah,
He's poor.
yeah.
He, like we can see the goal every game, and Tuchel still thinks, you know what? I prefer passing over defense. Motherfucker, you need to fucking defend. It's
Friend,
crazy.
yeah,
Play the lift.
yeah.
Yeah, he was a 5
I
because the thing
think
is he's so
I,
protected
I
by the Bayern fan base.
I understand. I understand what Tuchel is saying by that because you know why, right?
Yeah, too good. He always
Bayern,
passes the ball backwards. He holds it up a bit too long, but he's a better
yes,
defender. Yeah.
but Bayern, right? We
Mhm.
play possession football. Like most of the time, we have possession on the ball. So if you're gonna play possession football, you need good passers. You get what I'm saying? You need really good passers in order to play that type of possession, like have the ball the whole time and everything like that. So that's why he's picking Upamecano, which I understand. You see, I really understand. But the problem is he's a very error prone defender. And I think it's time for us to realize that as Bayern fans that he just never will live up to the Jerome Boateng replacement that we expected him to be. Because bro, Jerome Boateng was a different grade, man. Jerome Boateng was guys. I'm telling you, Jerome Boateng was something different. Like different level of passing. His long passes were amazing. His switching of play was amazing. Like his defending was so good. Like come on, bro. Like we're never gonna get a Jerome Boateng replacement. I'm telling you.
Okay. Lima.
I give him a 9 out of 10.
Mhm.
You're gonna have
It's
to explain yourself.
yeah.
In the whole squad, right? The best player in the whole squad has to be Liner. In that Gladbach game, he was the best player. In that
We're not talking about the
Leverkusen game,
Gladbach
he was
game.
pretty
We're
good.
talking about
No,
today's game against United.
today's game, he was good. Today's game, he made some crucial tackles where the man you could have scored a goal. So you have to give Limer credit. It's not. That's what I'm saying. Limer's job, right? Limer's job is to give the team some energy because all the rest of those players they don't give energy. You get what I'm trying like once the game is getting out of their hands, who's really gonna give energy to go press and do it? No, these guys don't do that. Limer brings that to the game. He brings a different dimension to the attack, and also his crossing is way better. It's miles better than Coman, Mazurari, and Sane. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, and Janabri. It's miles better. We all know this. I'm giving him 9 out of 10.
Mhm.
He did his job. He did his job.
I'd I'd give him a 7. I agree with Core. Like I like the intensity he brings because that's something that is missing a lot at times at Bayern. The only reason I wouldn't give him like higher is because I thought he misplaced a few passes, but he brought a lot of energy. Like the thing is with Limer, he well, I don't think he'll ever really have like a terrible, terrible game because he works his socks off, which he did today. He was making really good runs. He was working really hard off the ball, on the ball. It was just like sometimes his reading of the play with Sané wasn't quite there in the beginning, especially. So I'd give him a 7, but I really like him so far at right back, and I think that with him there will be good for the long run. I think the only thing he gets to work on in defense is that sometimes because he gets pushed up a bit too much, there's a little bit of space behind him, but I think over time it'll improve. And his link up with Sané will improve as well.
Yeah.
Well, I give him a 4. If you want my reasoning, just watch the first 10 minutes of this live stream discussion. Next up, Kim Mich. 8. I'll go ahead and say
Um,
just 8 for me.
I don't want to give that spoiled brat any good rating. I'm giving him a 0 out of 10. That's how poor he is, man. 0 out of 10 for Kimmich. Gives nothing to the team, does nothing good for the team. Almost cost a goal, you know. Every time he gets pressed, he gets exposed. He's just too bad, man. Sorry, man. I'm giving him 0 out of 10.
Yeah, overall, I'm gonna go with Prince. I think he got an 8. I think it was a good game. Better than most of his games this season. It was a nice. I think he got the assist for Tell as well. So
He did. He did.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that
So
was him.
I think it was a good. I think he had a solid game. Not man of the match worthy, but I think it was solid.
His
I
partner,
think
Goretzka.
Goretzka,
Mhm.
I'll give him a 7 out of 10. Yeah.
I'm giving him a 2. He's the most infuriating player at Bayern for me, just because like he's a low football IQ in terms of positioning, reading the danger of the play. He's honestly the German Scott McTominay. He hides in the build-up, and he offers nothing in the defensive side of the game, besides maybe a few tackles. And like, I really don't know what he did besides shove that Argentine center back. So I give him a 2.
You keep mentioning that.
I really don't know what he did. Like throughout the whole game, I can't think of a single Goretzka highlight.
Actually, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Look, I'm gonna just keep it very simple and say that today, because of the comments made before the game by a certain manager, every player that I usually criticize and slander is lucky today, because today I was like, you know what? They're not gonna get criticized. And Goretzka is one of those. So for me, Goretzka gets a. I'm not gonna criticize him, so I'm gonna give him a good score. He gets a 4.
Not a 7 out of 10.
No, a 4.
Wow.
Next up, Gnabry, who might have scored with his first touch, and that was the only one that he had all game.
Mm, 1 out of 10.
But
He's so
scored.
disappointing. He's so disappointing. I mean, he's not giving Harry Kane service. He's a waste. He can't beat this man. His football IQ is bad. What else? Just really, really bad. All he's good at is as a striker. Sorry, man. But I don't know what else to say.
Yeah,
If you don't know what to say, I know what to say. He gets a 3. Invisible, like literally invisible all game. I didn't even realize he was on the pitch until like the commentator mentioned about 15 minutes in. He was like, Gnabry has a touch yet. And from that point on, I was like just focusing on Gnabry the first half. And I think he had like 1 touch, and that was the goal.
Mhm.
And then I didn't notice him doing anything in the second half.
Mhm.
So I give him a 4 because it takes some skill to be invisible all game but still score. And ultimately, that goal proved to be vital. So he gets a 4 from me.
I'd give him a 3 just because of the goal. But here's my issue with Gnabry is that that whole left side was pretty much Davies having to do all the work, because once the ball hits Gnabry, he's not taking on his man. He's not doing what Sané does on the right, and the attack just dies on that left-hand side right away. He he won't run forward with the ball. He can only run forward with the ball, and even then our players won't find him, and that's how he becomes invisible. So he gets a 3 just because of the goal, but really piss poor. Matisse still has to start over him.
Okay. Luciano.
I'm gonna give him a 9. He looked like Zidane out there. I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of people on Twitter were like saying what a player he is. Jamie Carragher and a few other rival fans. He looked really good on the churn. He had a wonderful assist too for the Gnabry goal. He looked like a threat. He was making so much space in the midfield. So for me, he's a 9. And yeah, 9 is good for me.
I'll give him an 8 out of 10. Yeah, good performance. very good with dribbling out of tight spaces. It looks like he's really improved his um how do you say, knowing when to pass and knowing when to shoot type-ish. And the goal by Gnabry where he was in the wing and he beat his man and then created that goal. I thought that was a nice one too. So yeah, I'll give him 8 out of 10.
Look, I don't do this often, and this might be a first. 10. He gets a 10. I'd literally just spent like the last few minutes just rewatching like the Musiala compilations,
Mhm.
and it's a 10. Leroy Sané, 10.
I'd go with 9. He's pretty much the same as Musiala for me. The only reason I gave him man of the match slightly over is because I noticed him more from the start. But yeah, great performance from him. 9.
Go on, Cole. Tell us Leroy Sané deserves a 1. Ooh, I don't
You
think
said
he's here.
you said what? Sorry.
Leroy Sané.
Um, all right, 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. I'm sick and tired of that bum. He's just a waste. He's just a waste. He sells us a false truth. That's my problem. He's selling us a false truth. I can't take it no more. 4 out of 10.
Just to respond to you, NS, I think it's just a number 6. I don't think anything more than that, personally. Last but not least, Harry Kane. Well, not last but not least, because there's a few more substitutions to go afterwards, but Harry Kane.
He's a weird one, to be honest. Like,
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. You know, look, Bayern, I'm so happy that we have a striker because last season it was so bad. It was so bad. Now that we have a striker, it at least it solved some of our problems. I didn't know how important a striker is when I started watching last season. Yeah, and I know how important it is. I'll give him a 10 out of 10. That penalty too was clutch. The penalty was clutch too.
I thought his passing was sometimes off. Like, I don't know. I from watching his time at Spurs, I expected better passes, but that's also partially because I feel like he hasn't had that much time with the team yet. So he also did his job. He got his goal off the penalty. I feel like he could definitely work on timing his runs and timing when he comes deep. I don't know. He's a weird one. I'd probably give him like a 6.5.
For me, he gets a 7. A lot of good things, was productive as well. I just think there is a lot more room for growth, and so he gets a 7 for me. Quick fire rounds. Look, Choupo-Moting. I'll start 5.
5.
I thought it was a weird sub to make. He hasn't played all season. He didn't look bad when he came on either. He almost got a good goal from, but Onana saved it. The only fucking save he decides to make. I'd give him a 5. Yeah.
Mathis Tell.
He didn't get much time, but it was a really good taking goal. It was a good run, good touch, great shot. I'm gonna give him a 7.
I'm gonna give him a 10. 10.
All right. Okay. He gets a 6 from me, and I'll tell you why. Very well taken goal. However, the goal that we conceded right before he scored was sort of his fault because he tried to do like a little flick, back heel flick, and then that gave the ball to United, and then he scored from that. I don't get why nobody's brought that up, but that was sort of his fault. Granted, we should have regrouped and repositionalized by then, but hey, we lost the ball because of that silly mistake. But then his goal was very well taken, so for me, he gets a 6 overall. Who else? Müller.
Did he do anything? Like, to be honest, like I feel like it's an NA. Like he didn't really do much. Get time to do.
Yeah, and NA is correct.
Yeah,
I didn't even see him. I don't know, man.
I only saw him when Tell was celebrating his goal.
Yeah, that's when I saw him.
Yeah.
Okay. Last but not least, King Coleman.
NA too, because I didn't see Coleman. He just came in to just do bits and that's it. A little bit, skills and that's it.
Yeah, he
Waste
did his
time.
skills. He did his skills, but what pissed me off is that like every time he does a good skill, he fucks up the pass or something. That really
Yeah.
annoys me. So like I don't know, 'cause he's very good on the ball, like getting past the defender, going through the midfield, and then he does a stupid fucking pass. So I'd give him a 5.
Okay. And last but not least, well, I was going to say
I say
Tuchel,
NA.
but it's more so the management because it wasn't really Tuchel, it was Zolz, but still.
I feel like
Let's just
Tuchel
say-
can get graded too because it's his game plan overall.
Well, let's say management to make
Yeah.
it easier.
Yeah.
6 out of 10, I guess. He should have brought the Lick as a number 6. And I think the substitutions again, like you guys said, do it too late.
I'm still pissed at the result, to be honest. It really feels like a loss to me, even though we won. We started terribly. Weird fucking subs at weird fucking times. I don't know. I'm really disappointed in them. I'm gonna give them like a 3.
See, for me, I'll go with 5. It's a victory. It's a win. That's ultimately what you coach for. My thing is, it's just the substitutions was so late, so unusually late that I'm just like that. No, that's not good enough. And then, like once the substitutions came in, we conceded 2 goals in that like 5-minute time frame where the subs came on. So too late for me. And then ultimately, the substitutions caused us to almost lose the game. So for me, they get a 5 just because we won. That victory, like, sort of masks over it. With that said, we're gonna call it, we're gonna call it quits here. Thank you for everyone for joining in chat, as well as obviously everyone that joined in the discussion. Yeah, we got the game. Everyone was saying that we've got the game on the weekend against Bochum, so I'm looking forward to that. Hoping for some changes. We'll see, obviously, whether that pans out. With all of that said, thank you everyone for joining. If you have any final words, speak now or forever hold thy thought. If you don't have anything to say, then just want to say thank you and see ya.
Peace.
Peace. Keep safe, keep good, keep calm, and peace.